very charming, very engaging.
He was good. He was very good.
It was almost perfect.
This is not just another headline. This is a case that went viral, sparked outrage, and left the world questioning what really happens behind the shimmering facade of Dubai's luxury skyline. A young model flew into one of the wealthiest cities on Earth, expecting glamour, photo shoots, and opportunities. Instead, she was lured into a dark underworld she never signed up for. This is the story of how a high-end modeling trip turned into a terrifying nightmare, and how the truth came out in pieces, exposed through hidden cameras, secret deals, and a desperate cry for help. Her name is Eva Santiago, 23 years old, of Brazilian Spanish descent, an up-and-coming model who had been making waves in Europe with her fashion-forward Instagram content. She had over 300,000 followers, a contract with a European fashion agency, and frequent invitations to events in Monaco, Milan, and Madrid. So when Ava got a message from an elite fashion consultant claiming to represent a luxury lifestyle brand in Dubai, she did not think twice. The offer was simple: a week in Dubai, all expenses paid, a 5-star hotel, a series of brand shoots, and a private yacht party with other influencers. Ava boarded the flight on July 4, 2025. She posted updates in real time, smiling selfies in business class, her passport tucked neatly beside a designer purse, and the caption "Time for that desert glow." But what no one knew was that she would soon vanish from social media. Her followers noticed first. No stories, no posts, nothing. And 3 days later, a video leaked online that changed everything. The footage was grainy, shot secretly on a mobile phone. It showed Ava, visibly shaken, sitting in a lavish room filled with men in traditional Arab dress. One by one, they approached her. The room was silent except for muffled whispers in Arabic. What happened after that moment was too disturbing to describe in detail. The world exploded with reactions: outrage, horror, sympathy. Some denied the authenticity of the footage. Nothing. Others called it proof of a massive underground trafficking ring operating in the shadows of Dubai's luxury scene. What followed next was a war of narratives. Dubai authorities denied all allegations. They claimed Ava had not entered the country through official channels. But flight records, hotel check-ins, and even her own social media told a different story. She had checked in at the Atlantis Palm Hotel. She had tagged locations in Dubai Marina. She had been there. Back in Spain, Ava's sister Lucia began a social media campaign titled "Ven Where is Ava?" It caught fire overnight. Influencers, models, and activists joined in. Interpol got involved. Journalists from France and Brazil began digging deeper. And what they uncovered was horrifying. A hidden network, disguised as a modeling agency, had been trafficking women from Europe and South America to the Middle East under the illusion of glamour contracts. The agency called itself Golden Dunes PR, operating out of Geneva, but with links to shell companies in Qatar and the UAE. Once the girls arrived, their phones were taken, their passports were held. Some were returned, some were never seen again. Investigators traced Ava's last known movements using airport footage, hotel security logs, and a rideshare app that had not been wiped from her phone's backup. On July 5th, she had taken a ride to a private villa located just outside downtown Dubai, a secluded property known to host high-profile guests. What the public did not know was that this same villa had been flagged in previous confidential reports. There were whispers, allegations, but no arrests. The influence behind the scenes was too powerful. These were men with money, politics, and connections. As days turned into weeks, pressure mounted. The Brazilian embassy requested an emergency investigation. The UN Human Rights Council issued a statement demanding cooperation. Dubai officials eventually released a statement claiming Ava had left the country on July 6th. But there was no footage of her at the airport. No record of her boarding any flight. No customs check. Nothing. Then came the breakthrough. An anonymous source from inside the hotel where Ava had stayed came forward. A female staff member. She risked her job to leak security footage showing Ava being escorted out of the hotel by two men in suits. She was not smiling. She was not carrying luggage. And most disturbingly, she was barefoot. The footage was timestamped July 5th at 11:42 p.m. That was the last time Ava Santiago was seen alive. The case took a darker turn when another model from Moldova, only identified as Diana, stepped forward and gave an exclusive interview to a French newspaper. She told reporters that she too had been recruited by Golden Dunes PR. She too was promised modeling gigs in Dubai. She too was taken to the same villa. What she described was a systematic pattern: models stripped of freedom, threatened, and told to cooperate or disappear. Diana escaped only because she had memorized a fake number and used it to call a friend from a bathroom burner phone. She was rescued by her country's embassy and brought back to Europe, but she was told never to speak of it again. Until Ava's story surfaced. That is when she decided silence was no longer an option. Now, the world wanted answers. Who was behind Golden Dunes PR? Who were the powerful men in that villa? And where was Ava? Interpol issued warrants. Websites connected to the fake agency were taken down. Arrests were made in Geneva and Istanbul. But the key players, the real orchestrators, remained untouchable. Behind layers of fake identities, diplomatic ties, and immunity, the truth stayed buried. Ava's mother traveled to Dubai herself in November 2025, desperate for answers. She spoke to embassies, private investigators, and human rights lawyers. She was met with silence, blocked access, and veiled threats. But she did not stop. Her daughter mattered. Her voice mattered. And through her pain, she sparked a movement. Today, Ava Santiago remains missing. No body has been recovered. No confirmed sightings. Just questions, heartbreak, and a community that refuses to forget. Her face is now printed on flyers across Europe and the Middle East. Her story continues to echo across social media. Every time a girl is offered a luxurious deal overseas, someone asks, is this another Ava? The case exposed an industry many refuse to acknowledge. A billion-dollar network of exploitation hidden behind hashtags, filters, and high fashion gloss. It is not about one city. It is about a global problem where predators wear suits, where invitations turn into cages, and where silence is bought with power. But there is hope. The exposure of Ava's case led to real consequences. 2 major fake agencies were dismantled. More models came forward. Legislation began to shift in European countries, requiring full transparency from international modeling contracts. Ava's story, as tragic and unfinished as it is, became a wake-up call. Now, let us not be silent. Let us not be comfortable in ignorance. Let us raise our voices for Ava and for the thousands of girls who still live in fear. The whispers behind closed doors in elite circles are louder than you think. In a place like Dubai, where wealth often masks reality and power silences the powerless, it is easy for stories like this to vanish under the velvet curtains of high society. But beneath all the luxury, something dark simmers. What makes this case truly disturbing is not just what happened, but how many people knew and said nothing. The private jets, exclusive parties, and million-dollar smiles might shine on the outside, but behind the scenes, lives are being traded like currency. And the terrifying truth is, this might only be the beginning. If this story shook you, if it opened your eyes to a truth you never saw coming, then subscribe now to Dark Case Diaries. This channel is not here to sugarcoat horror. We expose what others try to hide. Every week, we uncover new real-life cases, stories of corruption, cruelty, and the strength it takes to seek justice in a world stacked against you. Up next, do not miss our next investigation. Kidnapped at a casting call, the European model who escaped her captors. An unbelievable escape story that proves not all endings are tragic, and sometimes survival is the ultimate form of justice. Subscribe, stay informed, and never forget Ava Santiago.